What I really want to empower you to see is that you already have the infinite potential within you, but your mind, your habitual mind, with all its inherited belief systems, nurtured by your upbringing, nurtured by the society's constant try to crave our attention, maybe that is your only blockage. Being present enough to feel your spirit flow and brave enough, which you will be the more you tap in to the infinite source of you, to just share it without letting the blockages of specific outcomes getting in your way. That you are too bad in order to create and share your creations online? Well, then this episode is for you. I will share my own perspectives of being bad, being cringe, and how I view it as the allowance for growth. And I will share my thoughts on my perspective of a constant work in progress. So, hi and welcome. The name is Emma. The channel is the Limitless Creator Show. Limitless Creator. Well, I think it's pretty much self-explanatory. This is a space, a dimension about being more creative. And I share my philosophies, my current challenges, the work that I'm currently are doing, and also some tips and tricks. But I would say that this is at least how it feels for the time being. This is more like a philosophical channel regarding the creative power that I do think that we all carry within. Because in my Bible, we are all creator beings, and creation is one way to align with our spirit, our infinite self, and its desire to experience this journey that we call life and express its energy. And I think also that is the way that we can actually transform this physical dimension into a better world, hopefully sooner than later. And I do think that we live in a very common perspective that everything that we do, that we share, has to come with a specified goal and a specified desired outcome. That sharing online is about growing an audience in order to make money or be famous. For me, that is just side effects, positive side effects. And I am not against focusing on the business approach, wanting to make money online, because I think that is a very beautiful manifestation that people have finally woken up, at least in some areas, and starting to questioning the grind and the 9 to 5 and the trade your time for money approach of living. But I also feel like we are yet many who still chasing the future results. The illusion that happiness and fulfillment and joy is always a couple or many steps away. But I do believe that joy, love, serenity, and all of these beautiful things is already present within us. We just need to find ways to tap in to that, to experience the flow of that and the fuel, and turn that fuel as the resource we use on this ride. And to be honest, now I am stepping into the perspective of other people's perspective, meaning what I think that other people think or would think of me, or not about me, but about the content that I create. And from that very self-made ego created perspective, I would say that I suck at this. I don't have a clear structure in my videos, in my episodes, because I love this form of sharing, in the moment creation, like I often call it, meaning that when we receive that so-called inspiration, for me, that is a sign that we are present enough to, the portals of the present moment is open enough for our spirit to be present. And when we share from that space, when the energy is fresh from the source and has not been transmuted into mind-made works or mind-made content, I hope, and my philosophy is that when the content and the creation is that fresh, even if it's very, very messy, it has real power to serve. Maybe not in the obvious way, maybe not in a clear, tangible way, but my hope is that when you are tuning into this, is that you feel the energy behind this very in the moment creation. That what I really want to empower you to see is that you already have the infinite potential within you, but your mind, your habitual mind, with all its inherited belief systems, nurtured by your upbringing, nurtured by the society's constant try to crave our attention, maybe that is your only blockage. Maybe it's not the right strategy or even the reps. Maybe it is you being present enough to feel your spirit flow and brave enough, which you will be the more you tap in to the infinite source of you, to just share it without letting the blockages of specific outcomes getting in your way. And don't get me wrong here. I still think that our mind is a magnificent tool, and used consciously, we can and should probably apply different strategies and methods. I'm just saying that you are not limited to them. And just because you have not viewed or seen anybody else sharing or creating content or art the way that you do, it doesn't mean that you cannot have success creating your own path. And I think that that is what this, should we call it series, will be about. The Creator Manifesto, which is an approach, I think, to remember that just because it hasn't been done before, you could be the first one to do it and receive that success, whatever that is, whatever success is to you. And that is another topic. What is success? I think that success is also in some ways undefined. Well, it can include money and time freedom and all of that, but they are just limited images of something much more vital and real. And that is the freedom that is always present and that you already carry within. So the point of stating that I suck at this is that maybe I don't suck. Yes, I suck to have making structured episodes. And first of all, the only way for me to harness that ability to make more structured episode is to practice enough. And we cannot practice if we are letting the perfection getting in our way, because perfection does not exist, but still it is very real to many of us. That is I would say, one of the largest blockages for why we are not trying, why we are not allowing ourselves to just play, have fun, and share it. And I think that is the only way of growth. If you want to grow in the outside, in the third dimension, so to speak, if you want to become better and gain new talents, the only way to do so is practice. So that is the first core in this. You need practice, and practice needs allowance. Allowance to suck, but we can reframe that and say allowance to play and have fun. Not playing for some kind of end result, but playing just for the fun of it. And the second element in this is that maybe what you view as sucking, being bad, being messy, is one of the very outlets you enjoy to express yourself through. Maybe you shouldn't remove that. And yes, you can have both. You can both keep those outlets of messy actions just for the sake of the joy of play, but also as a way to actually manifest things. Because remember this, manifestation, yes, we can apply different methods, but the core element in manifesting what you want is the detachment from the outcome and the inner knowing, not the intellectual knowing like, this is mine, I need to have this is already mine, but the inner knowing like, yeah, the serene allowance for it to come without the craving of it to come. So you can have both. You can have both the outlets where you explore and apply different strategies and methods as a way to extend your creative abilities and explore new methods in order to gain those so-called talents and authorities. But you can also have the gateways of expressing just as a path, a portal, allowance, a permission slip to live life on your terms. And I also think that those very portals is actually the real magic of manifesting what you want. Hope you found any nuggets of wisdom in it. And remember, if you did, it was already within you. I was just the pointer there serving you today. Check out my Substack and join my newsletter if you like this. I would love for you to tune in there.